Hi, I'm Robin.
And I'm Bill.
Welcome to Not the Retirement Show, third journey series. Today we're chatting about something I like to call the big myth. Okay, so here's the thing. And it doesn't really matter for this discussion whether your entire life has been, staying at home and raising the family, or whether you have had the big career, maybe even been a CEO or run your own business. On the last day of your working life, people seem to think that they just sort of miraculously walk out the door and the next day they get up and life goes on, and the only change is that they're retired. It's not the case at all. Here's the thing. On your last day of work, what typically happens? You get a box and you pack up all the strange and random things that you really feel that you can't continue your life without. And you take that box of stuff and you head out to the parking lot to your vehicle. Put that box of stuff in the trunk, you sit in the car, and you put the key in the ignition. The moment that you turn the ignition and start your vehicle, you have embarked on a brand new journey. The act of retiring, it only takes physically as long as it takes for you to walk from your desk with that box of stuff to the trunk of your car. Now, a lot of people really don't get this, do they, Bill?
Well, I think people look forward to that day. I think people are looking forward to retirement, if that's what you want to call it. I think you're right. We tend to call that the third journey. But if you prefer retirement, so be it. So I think a lot of people look forward to that, with excitement and plans and ideas and et cetera, et cetera. And, the last day at work is always a bit of an emotional ride, you might say. But, you just want to get home. You just want to get on with the rest of your life. And off you go. Then you wake up the next morning.
And what typically happens? Okay, maybe there's a sense of relief for a few days. Maybe there's a sense of excitement, anticipation, as Bill said, for a few days. But then all of a sudden, one day starts to blend into the next. 1 week starts to blend into the next, to the point where somebody asks you what day it is, you're not 100% sure. And you're not losing your mind, but something just seems off. And this can manifest itself in a whole pile of different ways. Some of them not so pleasant. And you can find yourself feeling unexpectedly cranky, anxious, out of sorts. And what typically happens? Oh yeah, you start taking it out on that person that you live with. And you wind up having silly random fights about who left the toothpaste on the kitchen sink.
Yeah, I think it's a realization that you're in retirement. I don't think it's necessarily the act of retiring, day one, as it were. Because, day one, your life has changed. It's as simple as that. You didn't have to go to the office or whatever. You didn't have to drive. You didn't have to commute. You didn't have to do it. You didn't even have to get up at 6:30 in the morning and, have a cup of coffee and some burnt toast. You didn't have to do that. You can do it if you want, but you didn't have to. So your life has changed on that first day. But I'm not sure that you realize that it has changed. You're conscious of the fact that you didn't go to the office. I get that. But I think it takes a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months for some people to go, whoa, wait a minute, hang on here. Life has changed. And I'm now beginning to realize or think, whoops, what am I going to do with the rest of my life? That's a realization. So it's not the act of retiring per se, it's the realization that the time is now yours, and it's yours to decide whether you want to do this or do that or do nothing. And that's a big change in your life.
I can't say how much I agree with this, because the big myth about retirement is not that your life will change, it's that it's going to change in ways you never imagined, in ways that you couldn't foresee, because you've never had an experience like this as an adult. Sure, maybe you've been on vacation for a month or two or had a small gap of employment, but it's not the same as looking out across an endless horizon and there isn't actually anything that you have to do. Well, if you're still listening, we must have said something helpful. And if you'd like to follow along with this series, don't forget, you can get our book on Amazon. So we'll talk to you again soon. Take care, everyone.